Being unforgettable. The first thing you have to understand about being unforgettable is that it has nothing to do with how smart you are. Okay, this is not a stand-up show. Okay, it has nothing to do with how pretty you are. Well, actually, wait. Pretty does have an unforgettable aspect. Like I remember, I dated this girl, and honestly, she was so beautiful that when I watched her face move, it was hypnotic. I've never seen anything like that. Like her face, the movement of her face was in such synchronicity. Everything was so like perfect that it was literally hypnotic. I've never seen anything like that in my life. I swear to God. And when you saw her in photos, she doesn't look like that. Like that. She's one of those people that if you see her in photos, you think it's no big deal. In person, it was legit hypnotic. People, I needed like somebody. Anyways, so being cool, having personality traits doesn't make you unforgettable. Now, once they love you, then they can start attaching those things about you. Oh my God, you blink slower than usual. That's so cute. You know. Oh my God, you made a joke. You're funny. Like that type of stuff, right? Those are the positive qualities of you are only an excuse to like you more once they like you. You get me? But it doesn't necessarily make you unforgettable. Okay. It's like, oh my God, pasta with cheese is so unforgettable. But if you don't like pasta, who gives a fuck? That shit is not unforgettable. For me, it's not unforgettable. So being unforgettable is a relative term. It's based on what the person sees. Okay, so that's the first thing, right? Understanding that, and this comes down to the first point: is that being unforgettable has nothing to do with you. It has more to do about the person's genetics. In other words, some people have a genetic predisposition to drug addiction. And as soon as they get a taste of that powder, that evil shit, right, they become addicted to the drug. So it was, but that same drug may have a different effect on people. And that's how people are to us. Each person is a unique drug. And some of those people, we are literally wired. We have little dopamine receptors for them, where if we meet them, we feel an instant connection. And this doesn't just happen with the opposite sex. This happens with friends. I remember I was moving into an apartment and the guy was moving out. And as soon as we started chatting, 10 seconds in, we knew we had a connection. Like 10 seconds in, I was like, okay, I like this guy. Like, I don't know who this guy is, but I want to make friends with this guy, right? And we just had a very weird like friendship connection from just like that, right? And that's because just like a person has a predisposition for schizophrenia, God forbid, or bipolar, where the gene might not be activated, right? Might not be active, but the conditions in the environment activates that gene, and all of a sudden, you develop schizophrenia, right? And so that's an environmentally induced mental illness per se, and that's what we are, right? Each one of us, there is some people that if we meet activates this obsession in us, and there's nothing that we could do. There's nothing that they could do. It shouldn't even be complimentary. This is just a reaction this is just an act of nature, right? And those people who we meet and feel that instant chemistry with, right? Or we have the potential to feel chemistry with, are unforgettable people. Those are the people who we fall in love with. Those are the people who we feel a deep bond with for no apparent reason. And those people are the people who we tend to forgive more. We tend to become addicted to them because the chemistry is so strong that we don't give a fuck about all that they do crack, right? Right? You're like, you mentioned crack a little bit too much. So that's the first one. By the way, people, if you guys want to become unforgettable to the person that you're dating, I mean, you're dating someone and you want to be unforgettable, work with me one-on-one. There you'll be able to get a one-on-one session, 30-minute session, 45-minute session, 1 hour session, 5-minute session. And there you'll be able to talk to me directly, give me your opinion about your problem, and I'll teach you how to improve your relationship. I'll tell you whether what you're doing is right or wrong. At the end of the day, you're going to get an honest opinion. Because most people just don't tell you the truth because they like you and they want to be nice and don't want to hurt your feelings. You know what? The good thing, Father Alex, is not here to make you happy. It's here to tell you the truth, okay? So if you want to book a call with me, click on the description down below where it says work with me one-on-one, or else they're going to leave you, all right? I mean, that's good. All right, click on the description. You can like people, but not have chemistry with them. That's a real thing. But then you could meet people, have chemistry with them, but then you have similar interests. So the first cascading is a genetic predisposition to having chemistry with them. We've all done that with friends and families, right? Even with families, we are more bound to be more relatable with our family members. But the next one is compatibility. Once you have the chemistry, you have compatibility. Compatibility does not make you unforgettable, but chemistry with compatibility, that yeah, you pretty much have it. What's my goddamn stick, people? I'm trying to find my stick. If I don't have my stick, how do you guys know I'm being serious? There you go. Okay, compatibility. So, and that compatibility, is the most important compatibility is love language. Okay, the compatibility of your love language with the person, and it starts like this. The love languages are words of affirmation. Some people might want to hear this love language involves expressing affection through spoken words, praise and appreciation, compliments, affirming statements, those types of things. You're amazing, you know, you don't have a small dick, that type of stuff, right? Those are affirming words of affirmation. Acts of service. For people with this love language, actions speak louder than words. That's me, right? And in fact, Buddhism teaches you to do acts of service, doing things that you know your partners would like, such as household chores. Wait a minute, cooking meals. Hey, wait, tap. Wait a minute. No, sorry about this. I am not that point. Don't even think about this, man. Delete that shit. Next one, receiving gifts. Right? Oh, a lot of women like this one. Quality time and physical touch. Actually, acts of service is also giving gifts. But I'm not gonna do no fucking errands, man. I'm not gonna do no chores. Stop it, okay? But those are the quality times. If you're not compatible with these things, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. The chemistry might keep you there, and it might create a toxic relationship. But you need compatibility. You need to have similar love language. Because if your love language is spending time, and that's not the person's love language, you guys are gonna have problems. You guys are gonna be calling me all the time, and I'm gonna have to, help your situation out, right? Actually, I'm not a therapist. So yeah, compatibility, and that means having interests, having similar ages, being from a similar generation. That also matters a lot. Even though I'm not. Look, man. If you want to date someone who's 20 years older than you, who gives a fuck, right? I hate moralizers. Oh God, I hate moralizers. Jesus fucking Christ. Honestly, I'm like, if it's not illegal, shut the fuck up. Oh my God, I hate moralizers. You guys don't understand. And for me, that's really my part of why I am the way I am. Because I hate hypocrites. Because if you're a moralizing person, you're a hypocrite. Plain and simple. Because you can't be perfect, Now the next one is projections. Projections, right? When somebody reminds you of someone in the past, that person will create a strong, unforgettable sensation in you. If somebody reminds you of your mom who never, for example, let's just say you dating, your mom was never there, wasn't emotionally there. You're dating a girl and now she's emotionally absent. She's there, but there's an emotional distance. That dynamic of a woman, emotional distance, you want her, but she's distant and cold. That dynamic, any woman that reminds you of that, you're gonna fall in love with her. And you're gonna pursue her as a way to make up for the past, right? Or some people, if they fear intimacy because they never got it from their parents never taught them how to show love, right? And so they're uncomfortable with the sensation of love. When they meet someone, they may date people or be attracted to people who reminds them of that dynamic, who are emotionally distant, so that they could fall in love with someone who doesn't let them get close to them. In other words, you falling in love with people who keeps you at an emotional distance because of your fear of intimacy, right? And I had a very beautiful thought the other day that I want to share with you guys. Imagine this, right? People who have a fear of intimacy really have a fear of intimacy with themselves. For example, let's just say someone who is. Let me put this right here because this is actually like to explain people who have a fear of intimacy. Let me give you an analogy. Imagine someone who is able to go back in the past and meet their. Let's just say you're 45, right? You're able to go back in the past and meet your 30-year-old selves, 20-year-old selves, and 15-year-old self, right? You're right in front of them, right? And let's just say you fear intimacy, but this is who you are. This is you in the past, but you have the superpower to go back in the past, right? Now, would you look at them in the eye and say I love you? If you're uncomfortable with saying I love you, would you feel comfortable with looking at yourself in the eye and saying I love you, even though you know that's really you? Would you? You know what's funny? A lot of people will feel uncomfortable, even though that they know that's dumb. if they are afraid of saying I love you, of looking at each other in the eye and crying in front of them, right, hugging each other, if you are afraid of doing that, if you meet yourself, you're gonna be afraid of doing that, even if it's yourself. So it's not even the fact that it's a stranger. The fear of intimacy isn't the fear of intimacy with someone else. It's truly at the core of it a fear of intimacy with yourself. Nobody ever taught you how to self-soothe. Nobody ever taught you how to deal with uncomfortable emotions. And one of the uncomfortable emotions is looking at yourself with love. And some people can't do that. And this analogy, this thought made me realize, holy shit, like, why would you be afraid to hug and cry with, with yourself, for example, right? Well, because it's really just a fear of intimacy with the self. Because at the core of all things, everyone is the same person. Everyone is the same person. Just like every phone, it has a different quality, different apps, but at the end of the day, every phone has the same spirit, which is the same electricity. Everyone has a different app. Everyone has a different type of phone, different species, different personalities. But at the end of the day, what's animating it is the same thing. The same electricity that's animating this, it's animating your phone. It's animating that. That is the soul of everything, right? And so at the end of the day, the fear of intimacy is just a fear of the self, right? So one of the ways to overcome fear of intimacy is not try to get intimate with someone, but give yourself as much self-love as possible through a loving kindness meditation. And this will literally break the walls that you have set for yourself from yourself, right? Anyways, so yeah, projection. So you date someone who reminds you of a parental dynamic, or maybe you're dating someone who reminds you of an ex, right? And so those people, especially if the relationship ends badly, especially if they never satisfy you, they'll be unforgettable. The projections that are never satisfied become an unforgettable phantom that we continually chase but never truly reach, right? So that's one thing. Next one, how they change you, for better or for worse. When you meet people and they have a positive effect on your life, where they helped you quit a drug, they helped you overcome this, they made you more motivated, they changed the way you view the world, those people do become unforgettable to you. Now this doesn't have as much impact. This has more impact if they love you and then you help change them in a positive way. You'll be unforgettable. But also in the negative, where if you're so fucking toxic, you'll become unforgettable, right? And this is why, right? And this goes into the fifth point, is that if somebody breaks your heart, if somebody hurts your ego badly enough, they become unforgettable. In fact, if somebody breaks your heart hard enough, they literally become your type. They become your type. You start to search for someone that looks like them or has a similar vibe to them if they hurt your ego or break your heart hard enough. For example, let's just say you were given a freaking pit bull, God forbid, right? And you hated pit bulls. You thought pit bulls were the agent of destruction of dogs. You thought pit bulls eat children for breakfast. Pit bulls be like, come on, man, give me one little leg. Come on, give me that little leg. I'm hungry, man. I'm pit bull. I need kids, right? But if that dangerous, angry, hungry pit bull dies, all of a sudden you're heartbroken, right? You imagine the little pit bull with a child's leg. You're like, oh, what a nice memory I have of him. And all of a sudden you're going to want to get maybe a pit bull that kind of looks like Cupcake, the one that you had, right? And now you start looking for a pit bull that looks similar to your old dog. You get it? And he kind of looks like him. He's acting different, but kind of looks like it. And it kind of makes your heart happy. That pit bull dies, and a lot of people eventually end up buying a similar dog, right? And that's what tends to happen. If something hurts you enough, you long for it. You have a nostalgia for it. When somebody hurts us, your brain will create, if we like them enough and they hurt us enough and they hit the right spot, your brain will create almost like a nostalgic memory of them. It has a nostalgic film. That's what time does to memories. And that it doesn't just erode memories, it enshrines memories. And it doesn't just create a nostalgic film, it creates a longing for a similar experience. Just like people long for the relationship they had with their parents if their parents gave them what they needed. And that's how you create your type, right? So if you break their hearts hard enough, they'll never forget you, right? And the last one is first love. Honestly, the first love is always unforgettable. I still remember that girl that I loved, and she fucking started dating the bass guy, the fat ass bass guy. I'm like, you dumbass. Like, how could you choose to date? He plays the bass. Dumbass, that's a lame ass instrument. I play the drums, bitch. What the fuck? That's why she fucking left you, cause you got her a bitch. Yeah, and what, man? The hell? She was trying to date me and the other guy. You know what? His name Chris. Okay, that was his name, Chris. Right? Nah, man. It was good. Hey, man, that was, I lost that battle. It was hard. It fucking sucked, man. I remember in school. I used to go to school. And I would like see them. I didn't want to see them, but I would see them hugging each other, kissing each other, fucking smiling. I'm like, what's she happy about? The fuck? I was like, hope she gets big. Yeah, hey man, I'm petty, man. I don't give a fuck, man. Anyways, man, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, man. All right, guys, we're gonna have a brief intermission so that I could tell you guys about our new bundle that we're doing, where you guys can purchase all of my courses and get it at a discount. So this bundle is pretty much the bundle where you could just buy all of my courses. You could buy Nice Guy, which is a training course on how to come across more assertive, how to come across more confident, how to not give off nice guy vibes. You guys can get access to Dark Game, which is my full dating course on how to meet women in different scenarios, how to attract women, how to make sure you don't come across as creepy, and essentially how to act like a man and not act like a doofus, to be quite honest with you. And you get all of these bonuses, which is the bonuses of Dark Game, the bonuses of Practical Mastery, which is about how to master a skill, Social Mastery, which is how to master your social life, and the Laws of Human Nature, which is a book club video that I had dissecting Robert Greene's book. All of this is naturally at around naturally is at $346, but you guys can purchase this bundle and get it at what's the price again? Get it at $238 pretty much. So you guys can purchase it right now. It's a money back 30-day money back guarantee. It's a good way to, rather than just buying them individually and paying extra, you guys can just purchase everything at a discount price. Now, the only thing I don't like is the fact that I'm giving you a lot of information at the same time. That makes me kind of scared, because a lot of times people don't do the things that I teach when you get too much information. But I've gotten too many requests to do this, so I'm just satisfying you guys. Purchase it right now by clicking on the description down below where it says purchase the bundle. All right, let's continue with the video.